The Timeless Everpresent is the fourth full-length album from Vimur. This is an Atlanta, Georgia-based black metal band. It started out as a solo project from the fellow from Hellgoat and a collaborative project from the fellow from Sargeist with in Striges. And you might recognize this band from 2022's Transcendental Violence, which was in a very aggressive but also melodic black metal record that really impressed me at the time. What do they sound like now? What are they doing now? Is it different than the last few records were? Let's check out a song and get into the details. So with the Timeless Ever-Present, we see the general oeuvre of vocalist, guitarist, Vetus Osphorus expand a little bit. And what I mean is that there's more of a melodic voice to this. There's more of a modern black metal touch to this. There's also a compositional hand that is much more refined than it has been in the past. If you do recall Transcendental Violence, that was a very focused record that was brutal in its attack. It was just a blast all the way through, and it was a very aggressive event. And what I would say is that this takes on a little bit more of a Sargeist-esque presence. There's a little bit more of a modern touch to it. There's more of a fluid dynamic to the way it works together, and there's a focus on melody throughout this whole thing. Pacing is a big change here otherwise. As you know, a record like from a band like Mugwa or Zargeist, they'll often focus on a single pace that drones through the record, whereas this album expands into much slower, more ritualistic pieces and into much longer melodic pieces that are faster and blazed through. And so the comparison is probably Haxanu at this point, especially Totenpass, if you enjoyed that a couple years ago, or last year. This has that touch to it, but the guitar techniques have changed. There's this arpeggiated touch to it. There's a rocking side to it. If you're a fan of Wada and what they do, there's maybe a little bit of that feeling, the USBM feeling in there too. That doesn't mean that their Bathory-esque side is gone. It doesn't mean the thrashing Immortal-esque side is gone. All of that kind of factors in here, but with the pacing change comes a dynamic shift for this record, which is much more dramatic. It has an epic side to it that stretches out well into the cosmos in the way that it presents itself. There's a stargazing affect to this thing. It's very introspective. It is grand in its gestures, and it's decidedly modern. I was a little bit surprised. There's almost a post-black metal feeling, but not in the maudlin or fey sense. This is a little bit more of a commanding, epic presence that uses those modern techniques to make something that's exciting. It's a rush of a record, and even there are slower pieces that are kind of, it'll be like a 7-minute mid-paced song that you just wouldn't expect from Vimur, and it's one of the best songs on the record even. So they've shown they can do just a bit of everything, and I'm really impressed with this record, even beyond the last, which I liked quite a bit. This feels like they've made an above average, well-rounded black metal record it speaks of their own voice, and that's hard to say because they've been a little bit all over the place in terms of style throughout their entire career. So this one feels like it's definitive. It's a spiritual craft, like I say in the record, and there's a certain rite of passage that happens here where it feels like they've found this impressive persona that I hope they continue with. So that's a high recommendation from me in terms of mostly the connection made, the immersive quality of it, the consistent songwriting value here. And I think that this is a record that'll stick with me, not only for its striking presentation, but also the depth of the compositions and particularly the talent of the guitar work. So check that out for yourself. I think it is one of the better black metal records of the summer and well worth checking out today. This released on July 5th, and read my review for more of my thoughts.